So we're reading scripture that is coming from Proverbs 3 5 through 6. Lean on, trust in, and be confident in the Lord with all your heart and mind, and do not rely on your own insight or understanding. In all your ways, know, recognize, and acknowledge Him, and He will direct and make straight and plain your paths. So this verse, I obtained it yesterday. It was like one of the big scriptures or verses for that day. And I was, understanding it, kind of doing a deep dive, trying to learn more line upon line, script upon scripture to try to figure out like what is God saying? How can He or how can we apply this to our lives? Like, you can read something plenty of times and your understanding and where you are in life, your perspective and what you gain from it. Like, what I'm saying is you get something different from it. In majority all good ways, especially when we're talking about what the Creator has given us as a form of communication and understanding. So, in reading over this verse multiple times, it's the all, and that's why when I read this verse, I tried to emphasize the all. We have to give all our minds and our hearts. That's essentially all of who we are. He didn't say soul, but I'm pretty sure in some form or type of translation, or once, or if you are in communication, you can ask him. That's what he wants, all of us, of our free will. We can do whatever we want to, but he wants us to give all to him. And once we do that, we see things change. We see what he will do. He will direct and make straight and plain your paths. My path is not, it's plain. I can argue that it's plain, but it's not plain nor straight. And that's all that I want. I've been hooping and hollering for peace and looking in all these different ways and things and trying to do it on my own. I was trying to be the all instead of giving my all to him. And I'm learning more what my purpose is, what I need to be doing in all aspects and phases of life. I need to be spreading, learning, and trying to teach and really just spread the good word. One day I'll get to the teaching level. But seriously, give your all. And he's going to make straight up paths. He's going to make sure. That's one of the slang words that I use and I've obtained through the places and areas that I've lived in my life, right? I'm straight, I'm straight, I'm straight. You know how many times I said I'm straight? He said he will make straight and plain. The Creator telling me, nah, I'm going to make sure you straight. So I definitely want to be straight in peace in a land flowing with milk and honey. But yes, he will do it. And we just have to focus on putting our all. We have our all, or the majority of ourselves, and attention and focus to everything else under the sun. And I'm not minimizing your life or mine. We have real life stuff going on. If you have a family, I know how it is. You're raising and dealing with and trying to put and position your family in the best position possible. Keep food on the table, have some good food here and there, or cook up some good food. Sometimes you want some prime ribeye. I know you want that king crab. So you have to put in that hard work, but just don't get distracted. Keep God in everything, in the work, in the food, in the kitchen, at the job, in the bathroom, in the shower. Not trying to get all, but everywhere. Keep Him in everything that we do. And let's see the difference in the outcome of what we get. The other point that I got out of this is it's impossible to please God without faith. I grow up and live by we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So nothing is impossible. But this caveat right here, it is a possibility that it is impossible to serve God or to please God without faith. So you think about that, and I would like for you to please respond to me in the comments section. Let's figure this out. Are you in agreement with that? That you know, almost like it doesn't contradict itself, but it's just both things can be true. I do firmly believe that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. But how do you feel about the it's impossible to please God without faith? Please let me know that one. Because I was like, ooh, like, okay. I believe both of these are true. Because I do believe that you need faith, even if it's just a little bit. The faith of a mustard seed, which is not big at all. That's just a little bit, but it is still needed. The faith is needed. He says that in scripture. I remember that being said in scripture. I remember whole sermons about the mustard seed. I might have to find the mustard seed verse, and I may need to dive into that because we go where God takes us. I do, and this channel will be too now as well. It's time to put on big boy pants. I been working, trying not to. I was about to say that favorite word, y'all favorite word, that digress. But really quick, like work, it's been interesting because there's been a lot of things that have happened. I'm doing a deep dive on like just researching and are things worth it. Working a regular job, I feel like I get paid once every 2 months, and I have a lot of things stacking up and building up, and it gets difficult to see that light at the end of the tunnel. For example, I'm working hard, and my whole check goes right over to the insurance, over $1,000 that I just have to pay to insurance. And now, it's things like that where me working and then you finally get money and then it just goes, as my brother would say, a handoff. This money is a handoff. I have to get out of all of this, and I plan to. And our great God is going to be leading the way. And I'm most grateful, but things have to change. Don't try to make reason with everything, but rather leave it in God's hands. I used to be a big time warrior, and you want to have questions answered. You want to know what's going on before you do it. You want to know, what is my return on investment? What is in it for me? That's how majority of people are. I wasn't going to say, oh, this generation, that generation. I'm not that kind of person. Everybody is their own person. God created you uniquely and individually. You are the only you. So with that being said, there are a lot of people who are self-centered. They want it to be about them. And a lot of people also say that you have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first. And that's something that I lack. You can ask a couple of people, they'll say, oh, he doesn't care about me. And, you know, he has no problem putting himself first. But no, the reality is I don't. I like to see the smile on other people's faces. And me talking to you about this, I'm pretty sure I know who I get that from, because there is a person in my life who gets labeled as, or has been labeled as, a people pleaser. I don't do labels. I'm glad that that person has changed their life for the better. Not be talking. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back on the subject. The point though, you don't need to know the why. Don't try to reason out everything. You have to really literally let it go. Put your best foot forward. Keep him first. Keep him in everything and all that you do. and everything will fall into place. You're not going to have, if you even want the answers to every single thing, let me be one of the many. Hopefully, I'm not the first. You're not going to have all the answers. Only our Creator does. So you will come to a point. You can get a lot of answers. Don't get me wrong. You can do a lot of research and you can get so far, especially with Google and the great internet. You can come a long way in books, libraries. A lot of people have already done the research, put in a lot of legwork, but eventually you come to a part where only God can give you answers. And are you going to be the first person that he gives all the answers to here on earth? I'm thinking about Jesus right now. That's really why I took a pause, because I'm not sure, obviously, if God gave Jesus all the answers, which, I'm pretty sure he did. But so for the sake of let me be safe and fair, right? I need to do more research, obviously, right? I need to talk more and communicate more with our Father, right? But are you going to be the second person that gets all the answers and knows all the answers and has everything? I doubt it. I firmly believe that there is only one and will only be one, Jesus Christ, who's lived this earth. You know, God brought his son, basically God on earth. There won't be another. Until he comes back, we'll be the same person, right? But there's not going to be another all-knowing, someone having all the answers. That's my humble opinion. Please let me know, how do you feel about that as well? And I definitely want you to know and remind you that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And I appreciate and love you, family.